Hello, welcome to Oracle 828 Tarot, the one-stop spot for tarot, horoscope, and astrological information. I'm Shannon, tarot reader of over 16 years, but enough about me. Let me introduce you to the real stars of the show. Whenever I get a new deck, whether I purchased it or it was gifted to me, I always first cleanse my cards. For example, I'll take the cards, I'll take a sage wand. Of course, you ignite it. You set it on fire. I have a candle here. And this is the first step to cleansing anything with sage. You want to get a good smoke plume going. And then you um, cleanse it. You pretty much wash your deck in the smoke of the sage if you're going to do a smoke cleanse. You're going to do a crystal cleanse. You'll take the crystal and what I do is I'll just sit the crystal right on top of there if the crystal is cleansed. Now I do allow them to, I take them out of the box and I allow them to breathe and get used to the environment for at least a day. A lot of times, like if you see behind me, I'll leave my cards out like this. I know some people are like, oh no, what about the moisture? I look at my cards and I'm active with my cards every day. So I will be able to maintain if something has gotten a little too moist or it needs other types of care. And as I've showed you, I put the selenite crystal on top of the deck for cleansing negative energies. It also helps with telepathic or reaching into the spiritual to connect. So yeah, when I first get a new deck, the first thing I do is take it out of the box and cleanse it and then let it breathe for a little bit so that I guess I can get a feel for it. We can get a feel for each other. And so this deck is my very first deck. It is a Rider Waite deck. Um, Pretty much the original tarot, where not the original, the very first one, but this is what most people are familiar with a deck. Mm, My spirit guide, I shall not name her name because she don't want all that notoriety like that. But that's who I talk to when I'm dealing with this deck. Now I do ask about like 6 or 7 questions when I first get to know the deck. I'll shuffle. I always shuffle 4 times, and then I cut. Let's go with the left hand, and then I ask a set of about 6 or 7 questions in order to better know. And they are very vocal when you get to know them. To me, it's like it's eager. They're eager to introduce themselves, just like you're eager to get to know how best your deck works. And I hope that you guys are talking to your deck and asking it questions because that's how you calibrate and get to know how your deck works well with you and how you can work well and train your deck as to be under the same understanding. So, for instance, with this deck, this is a deck, true enough. Who's connected to the deck is somebody who's been with me since I can remember, my best friend. So that's who I call on when I'm reading with this deck. And I'll ask questions like, tell me about yourself. So yeah, I'll be like, tell me about yourself. And she says, I remember this day. This day, it was the Nine of Pentacles when I asked her to tell me about. When I got the Nine of Pentacles for this deck, it was like, I am all that in a bag of chips. I know what I'm talking about. I'm very confident, and my communications are clear and concise. Because if you look at the Nine of Pentacles, you will see, let me pull it, you will see that she is on very fertile ground, um, able to have everything of materialistic value. The number 9, you would say 10 is completion in a tarot deck, but 9 is completing the cycle number. And also she is holding a bird, if you see that. That is communications back in the day. So it'll be like if you had a cell phone nowadays, or, the latest model, and getting, you know, the message across quickly, from a distance. So, yeah, pretty much like, girl, I'm all that and some. So pretty much she let me know this is the deck I go to when I want to manifest with abundance. How do I get over an obstacle so that I can manifest with abundance? That's this deck. I also ask, what are your limits? How can I know when you've had enough and when I need to stop? But a lot of times, in general, as a form of respect, you shouldn't overwhelm. You shouldn't overwhelm your reader with the same question repeatedly. Nor why would you pull the ethers like that to ask the same question over and over again? It's like you answering a question and somebody tapping you on the shoulder. Are you sure? Are you sure? Tapping you. Are you sure about that? Are you sure? You have limits. They have limits. And hers is she don't like to sit around waiting on stuff. She don't want to sit around waiting on action. She likes to be in the know. I then ask, how can I best collaborate with you? How can we have the best working relationship? And you also can ask things like, what are your strengths? How can you help me? And things of that nature. Okay, that was Sally. This is the ancestral deck. This deck. Okay, that was the Raider Waite deck, and now we're moving on to Miss Cleo's deck. Y'all might know about this deck. It is a very affordable deck. It is one of my first. No, it was one of my it's like the third purchase I made with the tarot deck. Um, this deck though, when I asked it the same questions, it did not answer it the same way. Also, this is ancestral, so it'll respond like a grandmother or warmth or a great auntie. And a lot of times it'll tell me if somebody is coming or going, passing away, or being born. And it will also let me know their mood as they're on the other side. So this is a deck that I use when I need to connect with someone or a person's loved one who's moved on. This is my comedic tarot deck. This deck right here is very stern, very assertive, a very confident deck. This deck right here is the deck you pull out when you need to overcome. No, actually, this is the deck you pull out when what is needed is to know when to view your opportunities and know if you are confident enough to grab the opportunities as they come to you. This deck will let you know where you are, um, and how to get to the next level in life. I have several decks, but I'm just showing y'all the few that I go to, that I use the most because we have a bond and a connection. This is a fairly recent deck addition that I have. It is the This Might Hurt deck, and it has more fun, like to me, funner, more pop images. It reminds me of early 90s and just pop fun. So I'll usually use these for a card of the day. Now I do have other decks, but these are the decks that I mostly use. I probably said that in the last clip. My last deck that I'm going to introduce today is the Moon Oracle deck. I usually use these when I'm going over the moon phases and to describe how different moon and zodiac, uh, the information that they hold. Also, I can read playing cards too, but we'll learn that on a later video. Oracle decks are free form, so they're not as like technical as a tarot deck. You pretty much use a lot of your intuition when you read an oracle deck, and tarot is more like structured. So that's the difference between an oracle deck and a tarot deck. So back to the beginning. Who am I? Someone who helps and cares. Someone looking for the best choice for my overall good. Where should I go? It tells me to go to the subconscious blue waters. How can I get stronger? Through introspection, natural magic, enlightenment, and privacy or serenity. What are forms of natural magic? Astrology, alchemy, and discipline. So nice to meet you. And tell me a little bit more about yourselves. What do I need to know about you? And if you have a question, feel free to let me know. This is my first video. Nice to meet you. And I'm sure my cards are happy to meet you as well.